something else you can doodle in your notebook, but just kind of stay quiet so that the other people that are doing it can concentrate. If you haven't finished, we'll go over them here in class. And then just fill them in if you could find the answers for them as we go up. Let you correct your own. Worksheet 2, right? I see this. Make sure I get the right one here. Is it 3? Okay, that makes sense. All right. I'll have to call on people since nobody wants to. All right, question number 1. And we're going to go Brock. Name 3 types of existing conditions for which drivers should adjust speed.
Weather, traffic, roads.
Roads what? Yeah, road conditions. So if you got something wrong, just change it. 2, U-turns are not allowed on interstate freeways. U-turns are also illegal near the top of, and we'll have you fill in the blank, Megan.
Hills.
Okay. And on,
Roads.
okay, not quite. Curves, yep. And where other drivers cannot see you from how many feet away? 1,000 feet. Perfect. Good job. Alicia. Unless posted, 10 miles per hour is the max speed in a. Okay. 30 is the max speed in.
Urban or town road.
Yeah. And how many miles per hour is the max speed on all other non-specified roads? 55. Good job. Okay, we're just going to keep going down the line. So, Jacob, you're next, huh? Before making a lane change, make sure you have enough space or clearance. I'd allow either one of those. Behind, ahead, and to the size of your vehicle. So we're kind of going back to that drawing there. Yes?
What if I wrote distance? Enough of distance between them?
Yeah. I would go with that. That's fine. 5. Is it Aaron next? 5. In order to see blind spots, a driver must look over his or her shoulder. Perfect. And we'll be doing a lot of that, especially when we're out doing behind the wheels. As the other instructors, have they introduced the term smog to you yet?
No.
We'll be talking about that, but it's very important. We do a lot of looking over our shoulders. We practice that when we're driving out for your behind the wheels. So, okay, 6. Whoever's next. I can't remember where I left off. Jason, is that right?
Is it false?
6 is false. It is false to make a turn, signal at least 75 feet in advance. How many feet in advance would you? 100, yep, that's what makes it false. When making a left turn, signal and move to the lane blank. Whoever's next. Sure.
I wasn't sure was it in that. Or,
No, we're looking for a different word. Anyone got it? Closest, yep. So number 7 is closest. 8, when making a right turn, signal and move close to the right side. Yeah. I would accept that, right curb. So, okay. When legal to pass on a two-way road, do so on the left side of the vehicle being passed. Good job, guys. True or false? Do not stop or pass or change lanes when in your roundabout. If you're in the roundabout. Okay. Bless you. Yeah, you do not want to stop or change lanes or pass somebody in a roundabout. How about the roundabouts that have 2 lanes? Could you pass somebody, you know, like the ones over here by, whatever that is, Sam's Club? You know, some of those roundabouts have 2 lanes. Could you pass in that? No. Good job. All right. Where did I leave off? 11. Maintain a speed at least blank inches between you and the steering wheel. 10 inches, correct. And you want the top of the steering wheel about at your shoulder height, right? 12. When steering, your thumb should be turned out with an airbag. The airbags go off with such force that you really injure your fingers, your thumb, or even in some cases have been amputated because of the force of the bag that comes out. Fleeing an officer is a felony. Yes, good job. If you are involved in an accident that results in injury, death, damage over $1,000, you must file a crash report within how many days with BVS? 10 days. Perfect. What are the hand positions on a steering wheel without an airbag? Anybody remember? 10 and 2. Okay. 10 and 2 is more of the without an airbag. That was kind of the old school way of doing it. But you want to go 9 and
it is about it.
It is without the airbag.
what does it say? Oh, you're right. My bad. I thought it said with. I probably read without too, didn't I? Okay. Good job. Way to correct me. Extra points for you.
So is 10 and 2?
10 and 2 is correct, yes. I misread. Okay, 16. How do you know if the road is a one-way street? List 2 ways.
One-way street signs and all the cars are parked in the same direction.
Okay, good. Anybody else have the third one?
There's signs around, so-
Yep. All the street signs will be facing either away from you or to you on both sides of the road. When distraction should, what direction should you turn your wheels if you're parked on a hill with a curb? To the left, correct. And when we were practicing that, I used the hill over by the high school. You know, they got that kind of long hill. We actually go up and we put the the wheel the way it's supposed to be, and then I let you guys put it into neutral and you back up and you can kinda see how the wheel catches the curb, and so you kinda get an idea of why we do it that way. True or false, all Minnesota vehicles operate on public roads must be registered. True, good job. If death results while fleeing a law enforcement officer, the driver may be sentenced to an imprisonment for not more than 10 years and fined not more than 20. $20,000. All right. Letter 20. What direction should you turn your wheel as you're parking downhill with a curb, or with a curb? To the right, correct. 21. How many feet do you park from a crosswalk or intersection? 20. How about how far do you park within a fire hydrant? 10. How many between stop sign and flashing red light? 30. Perfect. How about railroad crossings? 50. And do not pass with how many feet of an intersection, underpass, tunnel, or railroad crossing? 100 feet, correct. True or false, do you pass on a hill or curve where you cannot clearly see the road ahead of you at least 700 feet? Yours says 200?
Yeah.
Okay. 200 feet then. That's false. How much should it be? 700. Okay, good. Some changes must have been made on my sheet, on your sheets that weren't updated on mine. Which direction should you turn the wheels if you are parking downhill without a curb? Anybody have an idea? Parking downhill without a curb. Huh?
Is it right?
Yep, to the right. Sometimes it's easier to remember that uphill with a curb is to the left and everything else is to the right. So all you gotta do is memorize which one is for uphill with a curb.
Uphill way, then downhill, right?
Yeah, that's good. I showed my daughter when she was learning to drive, I said, okay, envision your hand like that. Pinky's the curb, hands are your fingers are your car, and turn your steering wheel to the right. It's hokey, but it helped her, so. That's a little added secret. I don't tell every class. SMOG, what does SMOG stand for?
Signal, mirrors, over the shoulder, go.
Yep. Signal.
Mirrors, over the shoulder, go.
So what we're talking about there is if I'm driving my car and I'm gonna make a right-hand turn, before I make my turn, I'm gonna turn my signal to the direction I wanna turn, so I'm gonna turn it to the right. I'm gonna check all 3 mirrors just to see what's going on. I wanna check my side mirror, that side mirror, the center mirror, and then I'm actually gonna physically turn my head around to glance in that blind spot, because no matter how well you have your mirrors adjusted, you're still gonna have blind spots. Every vehicle's that way. So you're gonna turn. Now, one thing you don't wanna do is you don't wanna go back and sit there and stare and watch and wonder what's going on, because, you know, obviously you gotta be paying attention to what's ahead of you. So when you do that, you kinda just give it a quick, you know, you don't have to do that because you wanna look enough to see what's happening. Other things you wanna be aware of, as long as I'm thinking of it, is bikes. You know, you guys get a lot of bikers in this area, kids and whatnot. So there may be obstructions there that are not cars, so just be aware of that. And then I go. So I don't do any of my turning until I've done those other functions, okay? And of course you want to look to the direction your car is going to go. So if you're making a left-hand turn, I want to smog to the left, right? You're always looking over your shoulder to the direction the car is going to go. All right, 29, if a car in front of you is going 60 miles per hour and the speed limit is 65, can you pass? Yes. Because you're allowed to go 65. What is the hand position on a steering wheel with an airbag? There we go. 8 and 4. Yep, 9 and 3, 8 and 4, if you guys didn't catch that. What is the penalty if you're caught driving an uninsured vehicle? What can you be fined? $1,000, yep. And sentenced up to how many days in jail? 90 days in jail, yep. What must you do to register your vehicle? You must bring the current title or registration and your driver's license and other valid IDs to your local DVS center. 33. If you're charged with careless or reckless driving, you will be tried in the court for a misdemeanor. Yep. So what's worse, misdemeanor or felony? Felony, yep. And then 34, what does the law state about wireless communication devices? Anybody have that? Anyone?
A person can't use any sort of wireless communication device while driving. Exceptions are when you need to obtain emergency services, report an accident or crime, or when, like, you can use, hands-free, yeah,
Hands-free speaking,
yeah.
Bluetooth? Yeah. Right now, for adults, it's not illegal to talk on the phone, but what is illegal for adults? Texting. How about what else? Yep, using the internet, checking emails, checking Facebook, all that stuff. So we're not allowed to use it either. Any of your parents use it? And it's, you know, just kind of one of those things in our world today that we're so used to using it, but it is dangerous. So you guys can go ahead and take a break. Be back around 1:45. Was she letting you guys keep the quizzes at all, or did she have you guys turn them in?
I think we turned those in.
Here, and some of them are kind of be a little repetitive to stuff that you've already learned, but it's important enough that we got to make sure that you're picking it up. So, question, what is the #1 cause of car crashes? Distractions, that's right. what kinds of things are distractions? Huh? Phones, that's a big one. Other people. Music, yeah, loud music. All that stuff. Eating, drinking, they're all distractions. And here it's just kind of listing some of that same stuff you guys are talking about. Textings, using a navigation system, grooming. I've driven and see people shaving before. Yeah.
I'd be scared of cutting myself.
Well, you see
They got
girls putting on makeup all the
Oh,
time.
that's
Yeah.
true, I guess.
makeup, yep, you bet.
Wait, but then when they're shaving,
Wasn't they like sleeping?
how does that work?
Well, they got a cordless
They got
electric razor, and it's
Okay,
just
that
and
makes
it
a lot
kind
of
of
sense.
collects the hair.
Oh,
But to do a good job, they're looking up in the mirror. I mean, they're trying to drive and look in the mirror and do the same thing.
it's pretty impressive though.
It is impressive.
Yeah, until they like total their car and
Then it's
die.
Yeah.
impressive anymore.
Yeah, when they're a grease spot on the road, it's not very impressive any longer. So if you do need to shave, you're running late, you need to shave your legs or your face or whatever, pull the car over, find a safe spot.
Do it at home.
Cole's
Uh,
trying to shave my
This is
mom.
kind of cute. Honk if you love Jesus. Text while you're driving if you want to meet him.
Hold on to acid.
Voicemail. Things like, believe it or not, I've actually seen that quite a bit where people are reading. And we're not talking about a map. They're reading like books. And they're in the cities in rush hour traffic. And they're reading, I seen a guy not all that long ago reading a newspaper.
Wow.
They've got look enough to kind of see what's going on, and they go back down. Pretty scary. You think it's better to use hands-free? Do you think that helps any?
Well, probably
Better,
some, but
but-
it's.
Yeah. What would make using a hands-free a little bit better?
Not having to look down and like press answer or.
Yeah, all those things. Plus you got both hands on the wheel, right? You don't have to take your hands off the wheel. Good answers.
Good question.
Yeah.
It's not illegal to drive with one hand, is it?
No.
I was just saying, it's just not smart. What?
Is it illegal to drive?
I guess so.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The driver of this car was driving and talking on the cell phone. Driver ran a stop. Use your voicemail to pick up your calls when you are driving and pull off to the road if you need to make a call. So just like shaving, if you need to make a call, it's safer to pull off and just take a call. I get a lot of times because I have other businesses, I get people call me when I'm driving that I need to make a note for. So instead of driving and trying to copy a note or make a note or write somebody's phone number down, I just pull the car over, safe spot, and then do it. Because it's, even at my age, and all the experience I've had of driving, it just takes a split second of inattention and accidents happen. How about music? Loud music, you think that's a distraction?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about the headphones? Is it legal to wear headphones when you're driving? No. And sometimes you'll see people driving with the headphones on and it's still loud enough that you can hear them in your car.
Isn't it legal to drive, like, if you have earbuds with one in?
I'd have to check on that. I'll find out and get back to you. I don't know the answer to that. I know a lot of people do it.
I can use it.
Yeah, have both your earphones on.
I guess so.
And the-
It's like if your hands are like.
What would the reason be? What's the reason they don't want you to have headphones on?
You can't hear surround noise.
Okay, you can't hear horns, you can't hear emergency vehicles, you can't hear trains, you can't hear, kids screaming behind you,
Oh.
as you're falling backing and out. Texting while driving, illegal for you, legal for me? No, nobody can text and drive.
Is it illegal to like if you have your phone plugged into an aux cord or something, is it like illegal to look down and change the song?
We need to wait till you guys.
Well,
I mean,
dis-
yeah, but
distracted,
I'm just saying.
yeah, distracted driving is illegal. So anything that you're doing that's distracting you, they, you're breaking
Yeah.
law. So that's kind of the danger of cars, not even just cell phones and iPods and whatnot, but just the cars themselves have gotten so complicated. They got built-in navigation systems, and they got, you can do everything, cook a turkey in the back. And there's just lots of gadgets and things in the car already that can be distracting, right? How about this one? I think this is probably the most common thing, but maybe the tie between this and cell phones, but lots of people are using both hands to eat and taking their eyes off the road, looking for their ketchup in the bag for their french fries. Not that I know from experience, but I-75 road work, April 12th. I-75 is alternate route. I think this one is in here just to kind of tell you that a lot of times, especially down in the cities, they'll have signs up giving you information about what's coming up. Sometimes that'll say, accident ahead, expect delays, or accident ahead, detour, exit 9, that kind of stuff. So when you see these kind of black boards that look like they're things that they can change the wording on, that's usually how they inform people what's going on ahead, so that you can make other arrangements or just be aware that you're going to be delayed some. Okay? Any questions on anything so far? Good. Here's one that you were talking about, even though she's not changing the phone, she's changing the one on her car, and so that kind of goes back to what we were talking about. There's just so many gadgets all around us that make it easy to be distracted. Driving's a full-time job. You girls, you ever done this? Of course, you're not driving, but do you wait to put your makeup on in the car?
No.
You don't want to do this. So extremely dangerous when you're doing it driving, and I see it quite often. How about this? We talked about this a little bit. Shaving while he's driving. How about pets? Anybody know someone who drives around with their little lap dog?
That's us.
You?
I know somebody who has like these tiny dogs, and they're driving, they let them sit on their shoulders.
That's what my dog does. She's so little, she just chills.
Dogs, lots of people consider their dogs as part of their family, which is fine. One of the things you gotta remember is that you wouldn't allow your infant or toddler to crawl up and get in your lap while you're driving, or hang on your shoulders when you're driving, because it's not safe for you and it's not safe for them. So for the dog's safety, because they don't know any better, you want to restrain them somehow, or teach them to stay in an area of the car that's safe, or bring a kennel with you. So I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but nail polish can wait. It kills faster than it dries. That's kind of poignant, isn't it? In Minnesota, over 4,000 drivers die in car crashes each year due to distracted driving. Now, we've had this slide up here for a number of years, so I would like to go back and do a little digging and see kind of where we're at with that, if it's increased or decreased based on the amount of technology we have. It'd be kind of interesting to see. Inexperienced, distractions, a dangerous mix for 4 teens. 4 teens were killed in the crash. Driver was talking on the phone. So, I think it'd be bad to lose your life with your friends, but it'd really be bad too to have all your friends lose their lives and you survive. That'd be a lot of guilt to carry around.
Maybe feels like the person who's on the other end of the phone, you like just hear it for people.
Probably just sounded like, just probably sound like chaos, it's probably not. A lot of times, those kinds of accidents, a lot of times there's a tendency that a lot of people don't say anything when they get scared, you get jolted and it's just like you're waiting for impact. So it may not have been verbally, but not a good thing either way. Teenage driver of the silver car crossed a double yellow line into oncoming traffic. He was talking on a cell phone and trying to pass a car. So, double yellow, can he pass on a double yellow? No. That's the reason right there. How about these? Anybody have those in cars? Garmin's or Magellan's or any of those? They're very handy. They help us get to places we need to be. I've used them. But can they be a distraction? If you're punching in your route, should you be doing that while you're driving? No. Pull over, punch the route in, and then have it go. Is it better to have it up, so it's not blocking your view, but up where you can see it without having to take